A new study published in the science magazine JAMA Neurology has identified 15 risk factors for the so-called early onset dementia, challenging the idea that genetics is the only cause of this pathological condition. Early onset dementia is when it affects people who are under 65 years old. Dementia is caused by a degeneration of brain tissue that can impair the ability to think, communicate, perform daily tasks, and remember. The importance of this study lies in the fact that many of the risk factors are actually modifiable by each of us. There will always be a genetic component, but among the risk factors are also the level of education, the socioeconomic status, the smoking, physical activity, the presence and non treatment of certain diseases such as hearing problems, and more generally, a good lifestyle. This obviously offers hope for prevention. One interesting finding was the relationship with alcohol consumption. According to this study, alcohol is an important risk factor, but what emerges is that excessive drinking is certainly a risk factor, but not drinking at all, that is, being a teetotal, is also a risk factor. Now, probably, as is known, wine, or at least some wines, contain substances that can be beneficial, as may have antioxidant properties, to put it simply, with anti aging effects. Although their real beneficial effects are not entirely demonstrated, those who are teetotal might not benefit from this advantage. An advantage acquired by those who drink moderately, that is, less than 1.5 liters of wine per week, to give you a reference measure. Now, the protective substances present in wine, however, are not only found in wine. Many other foods contain them, especially certain types of fruits and vegetables. And the problem is that wine always contains some quantity of alcohol. The International Agency of Research on Cancer has long since placed alcohol in the Group 1 list of substances that can induce cancer, a list that includes tobacco, radiation, and asbestos, for example. And the World Health Organization is clear about the dangers of alcohol ingestion in any form and quantity. Simply put, the more we drink alcohol, the greater the chances that it can act as a carcinogen. Not to mention that it is simply a toxic substance, a psychoactive one, but that's exactly why we drink it, and can lead to addiction. Alcohol can cause at least 7 different types of cancer, including the most common colon and breast cancer. Any potential benefit of the substances contained in the alcoholic beverages is not considered sufficient to counterbalance the dangers of alcohol, and there are no studies indicating a threshold concentration below which we can be safe. Although this information has been established for some time, most people are not aware of it, and the so called culture of alcohol, fine wines produced by skilled producers or refined liquors, is rampant all over the world. Think that, under experimental trials, ordinary people cannot distinguish a cheap from an expensive wine, and expert sommeliers have difficulties identifying even a red from a white wine if they taste them blindfolded. Now, the World Health Organization states that this knowledge should be spread much more widely, and also proposes that a specific label should be placed on bottles to signal the dangers of the alcohol they contain, like it already happens with cigarettes. Well, that's it for this video. I hope that this information has been interesting and useful. I'm Alessandro Zocchi, and I'll see you next time.